tell people a little bit about your background. Tell me about your background, and we'll go from there.
At one time in my life, I was an athlete. I wish I could still call myself an athlete, but I think those days are over. The goal now is just to feel better than the best I felt since then, anyways. And then I also started coaching my alma mater here for the football program. I was just talking to one of my coaches the other day who had stopped by. And I haven't coached now it'll be 4 years. And it's amazing how fast like my body has fallen off just in those 4 years. Like inflammation went through the roof. I wasn't not as active as I was then. Gained probably an extra 35 pounds in the 4 years. I noticed that just raising my arm above my shoulder, I can't even do that anymore. I'm working on myself after a lot of self-reflection, thanks to Matt. He's been there for me since the very beginning. It was just my fault that I didn't take advantage. After a lot of self-reflection and it really, really hit inside, I decided there was changes that had to be made. I looked at it like, man, I just wasn't capable of going about that journey by myself. I needed some guidance. I needed help. I needed somebody who knew exactly what they were doing. I needed a program that worked. And most of all, of course, I need accountability. And that's where this program and Matt came into place. And we are going on 4 weeks almost, and it's a total of 26 pounds now that I've lost. It was very clear that I needed some outside accountability.
Yeah.
My wife's great.
Yeah.
My wife's great. Everything is sunshine and roses. And I need that. But I also needed somebody to tell me, hey, if you don't do this, what's going to happen?
Before we started working together, what were you doing to achieve, fitness, and how were you going about it, and what was your mindset around it all?
Workouts were when I could get workouts in. That just shows from the very beginning of my day that there was no structure there. Starting with your program now, I'm still not perfect. I want it to be perfect. I'm getting my workout in, eating my healthy breakfast. And then when I set forth for the rest of my day, I've already felt like a great sense of accomplishment just for the day, just getting started. And that changes all these other little things too, like attention to details. I make my bed, make sure the bed's made up, make sure, I have got a load of laundry put away. Something needs to get picked up around the house, There's a lot of attention to detail and a lot of structure that's in my life now that I can honestly say that I don't think I've ever had.
When you run a day like where you're being really efficient toward something that you want to achieve, man, it's hard to beat how good that feels.
I'm not only bettering myself, I think I'm bettering the environment around me. The household is better. It helps our relationship. There's just so many positive things that have come into effect because of these changes that I've made.
Awesome, man. I love it. Jonah, I know you covered this just a little bit, but I'm going to ask again because I know that there's more to it too. What results did you get in this first month of working together?
First I'll start with my mindset. I've learned that life is life, I guess, and the reality of that life is there's going to be setbacks. But I know that now I can overcome them. Wins, eating healthy. No more fast food. I've been using a lot of the ingredients provided in the meal plans that you offered. Everything is structured, everything is planned. And I know at the end of that meal that I'm not only full, but I've also just ate healthy and clean. A reduction in inflammation in the last month. I've got so much range of motion back. I'm able to get up and work out. I'm more active around the house, more active around the office, and enhanced mood. Less fatigue. Headaches are almost non-existent. Blood pressure is under control. And then, of course, the icing on the cake is the weight loss. We're looking at like 26 pounds in a month's time. I started this journey at 344 pounds. Now I'm going back to the doctor and they're asking, well, what are you doing? You're not using our diet program. You're not taking our B12 injections or nothing like that. what are you doing? I said, well, I just have somebody that's holding me accountable. I got a program that's working for me. My mindset has changed and is progressing. And I'm just eating healthy and making better life decisions.
You know, and I know you referred to structure quite a lot. And I also think of, because of your background, like, what to do. And there's a difference between knowing what to do and actually what it makes us do it, right? When you think about the mindset side of it, with the motivation and consistency, have you noticed a change from, because I know it was like we talked about, it was like a big revealing moment the other day where you noticed the down and how your old self kicks in so easily. Like, did you feel like that was a revealing moment to see what's actually going on there, like a peek behind the curtain?
I stepped on the scale just, I think, was it two weeks ago, Matt? And I was so upset in the very beginning. Just a natural human reaction and moment that I had. And it was, I stepped on the scale and said, I made some terrible decisions on the weekend. I gained 5 pounds. That mindset that I'm working to achieve, I kind of lost grip of it for just momentarily. And I would say the old me, and I'm very comfortable saying the old me because I'm very confident saying that I'm not going to go back to the old me. But there was that moment where I realized that the old me would have just threw in the towel and said, you know what, look at all the hard work I've done. The change in, my habits it just hasn't really come to fruition like I wanted. I can't lose weight. I'm 44 years old. I'm done. If this is the rest of my life, so be it. And if the worst happens, the worst happens. And that was honestly, my attitude for so many years now. But then there was just that quick reflection that said, no, that's the old mindset. My coach told me that there's going to be these lapses, there's going to be these issues. It's about staying focused on that vision. It was like a moment of clarity and positivity that I realized that I don't have to go back to the old Jonah. This is the new Jonah who realizes that he can make mistakes and there's going to be some fallbacks, but at the end of the day and at the end of the week and at the end of each month, there's going to be progress. I didn't give up, and I haven't given up, and I can honestly say that a year ago, I definitely would have given up already.
It feels so much better to be the new us too. It always does. If you could say anything to somebody that was on the fence about jumping into this coaching, they're not sure, what would you tell them?
Don't hesitate. You may consider it a risk, but it's the risk that you're taking by not taking action is far more detrimental and far greater than it is actually committing to a lifestyle change. Take advantage of the opportunity, give it a fair chance. You'll start to see results in the way you feel after 1 week. And then after 3 weeks, you really start to see results, and other people start to see results. It works. Coaching is meaningful, and I think it's more meaningful than a lot of people give it credit for. At any aspect of life, whether it's life coaching, whether it's finances, doing what you're doing for me and so many others. I just needed that clarity and I needed that vision. And when you told me, honestly, John, where are you going to be at in a year if you don't make these changes? And that's a terrible vision to have.
Man, you couldn't have said that better. Like, the pure reason why I do what I do, it's I know it sounds corny. People go, well, you can't outgive God, but it's just like, even feeling that emotion coming off of you, and then I feel that emotion too. I want to break down and cry, like when people are achieving, things that they didn't think possible and they've struggled with, and all of a sudden it's just cracked open this whole new life that they know is possible, that it's just becomes a matter of time for them to get it now. Oh man, it's the journey all the way. You're going to accomplish things that are going to help so many people, because there are so many people out there that don't believe this is possible, and they're quietly suffering. You know that feeling, right? Like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. And by your example alone, you're going to draw so many people to you. So I think God gives you challenges because he knows the potential that you have, the capability that you have. And that's why, you know, and you have the capability, brother. You have the heart of gold that's, you know, loving people, and your journey is built in a way that you have no idea the amount of people that you're going to be able to touch. Love you, man.
Love you too, man. I appreciate you.